Today we're going to start chapter 2, which is economic systems and decision making, and we're going to focus on economic systems from around the world. Economic systems from around the world are products of many factors: political structures, resources, culture, social systems, technology, and even geography. The economic systems of most countries embody one of the three major types of structures that we're going to talk about today. First one being free enterprise, second command, and third mixed, which is a combination of both. So here I have a map for you that shows the major countries that we're going to talk about during this chapter and the different economic systems that each of them can be classified into. The first thing we're going to look at today is the free enterprise economy. And what the free enterprise economy shows is that the government is much smaller than the economy itself, meaning it's a small part of that production. Private citizens own and use the factors of production to generate profit, but even these countries do not have a purely free enterprise system because the government also plays some type of role in the regulations of the production and the profits involved. So the example that we're going to have of a free enterprise is down here is the profile of Mars Incorporated, which you see from the M&M commercials. The Mars company was founded by Frank C. Mars, a producer of popular Milky Way candy bars. It's a powerful example of the free market working successfully through entrepreneurship. Frank Mars was polio-stricken and homeschooled by his mother, who taught him to hand-dip chocolate. By 1911, Mars sold homemade buttercream candy from the home, and he shared with his wife and his son in Tacoma, Washington. Mars expanded the company into a large operation in Minneapolis by 1920. Soon afterwards, his prototype Marzo bar became the Milky Way bar. Milky Way cemented the company's success when sales increased from less than $100,000 a year to $793,000 a year in 1 year. He then moved that company to Chicago, and in 1930, the infamous Snickers bar was launched. Mars remains one of America's most enduring manufacturers. In addition to candy, including 29 different chocolate brands, the company now produces food products, beverages, pet food, technology-based health food, and pet wellness products. The Mars company is controlled still by the Mars family and the board of directors. The company has operations in 70 countries, and in 2013, Mars was brought over $33 billion in sales revenue. So it shows again, when the government is small and lets there be a freedom of people to operate, entrepreneurs to operate, they're able to grow their company from something small to large. The next example here is a mixed economy. And here you see the government has a larger portion or a larger role to play inside of the economy. Mixed economies have characteristics of the other two systems. For example, some countries have powerful free enterprise elements with a strong private sector, but may also have major utility or services that are government controlled in a manner that's more typical of the command economies. So in here we're going to talk about this profile of the People's Bank of China. China's economy is an example of a mixed economy. Historically, Communist China operated a rigid and isolated, centrally controlled economy. After pivotal economic reform in 1978, China's economy had grown to become more of a market-oriented economy. It is now characterized by the way its staggering scope and strong performance. The People's Bank of China, which oversees the country's vast economic operations, is state-owned and centralized. This powerful institution creates the executive monetary policy and regulates China's complicated financial markets. In 2010, China surpassed the United States as the world's top manufacturing economy due largely to the domestic demand. Entrepreneurs are now important drivers of the jobs and the wealth in China, and increasingly foreign brands sell directly to Chinese customers. In fact, Western-style consumption has exploded in China, and its middle class grows. In 2011, luxury brands grew from 47% over the previous year, and by 2013, Chinese customers represented 30% of the luxury brand market. So what we've talked about before in the past is China being such a small and, not small, but very large, but small economic impact is now a huge economic impact in the world. And what you're seeing is manufacturing being produced correctly from the Chinese economy. And the final one we're going to talk about today is the command economy. And here you see again on this chart that the economy here is actually smaller now than the government. The government has more control over what's happening, the total opposite of what you see in a free enterprise. The government owns all of the factors of production and determines how these factors are combined with product, goods, and services within the economy. This type of system is increasingly rare in the 21st century. So down here we see one of our biggest adversaries in the world, the country of Venezuela. Their petroleum industry is an example of productive and lucrative command economy at work. It's a state-owned oil company. In fact, this Venezuelan government is the company's only stockholder. It was created as a state corporation in 1975 to develop its safe energy sovereignty for its citizens. Venezuela is one of the world's most oil-rich producers and top-ranking member of OPEC. In 2012, Venezuela's holding represented 1/4 of OPEC's proven crude oil reserves. OPEC and this company, PDV in America, owns and operates oil refineries in Texas, Louisiana, Illinois, as well as asphalt refineries in New Jersey and Georgia. In 1990, this company completed its purchase of Citgo from the Southland Corporation and has grown to one of the largest companies in the world. So now you see this is a government agency that's controlling the economy, controlling this industry, which in this case would be gasoline. So the government has actually more power than the economy itself.